here in the Keelings tent in the Sensory Symphony Tunnel, and I'm joined now by Denis Kenny. And Denis is the senior strawberry grower and also the head beekeeper. You're very welcome, Denis.
Hi Claire, how are you?
What a job title. Your CV is far more exciting than mine.
Well, maybe so. I don't know. I haven't seen your CV. So.
Well, that's true. I'll get you a copy of it a little bit later.
Yeah.
The two go hand in hand, though. People might not realise how important the bees are to the strawberry production.
Definitely. The bees are really important, not just for strawberry production, but for the ecology in general. They're very important to us in Keelings because they pollinate all of our crops. We both use the honeybee and the bumblebee, which we use our cross-pollination, which means we get better berries, better shaped berries, and more quality for people, for the general public. Now,
we're not all suited up, which actually would be kind of exciting, but
yes.
This is the kind of work that you would do on a daily basis. You would be taking this out, and this would have... These are the honeybees?
These are the honeybees, and with the honeybees, they produce... They're the only bee that commercially produce honey, whereas the bumblebees, they produce nectar. And they have the enzyme to make honey, but they just don't make it in abundance like the honeybee.
So when you're pulling out one of these, what are you looking at?
So what we're looking at is the brood frame and the patterns and how healthy the bees are. We're also looking for queen cells and seeing are the bees getting ready to divide, because that's how they're a eusocial creature, so that's how they actually develop and procreate, so they expand their colonies.
Now, you said you wouldn't want to see a swarm, that if you see a swarm, that's dangerous. Well, what is that?
Well, a swarm is where the bee is trying to divide its hive, so it builds up to a certain number and it gets too big, so the queen bee will then she's like the manager of the hive, and she will get the other bees, the worker bees, to create another queen bee. And as she has been created and she's happy that she's going to survive, she will use 50% of the hive and swarm out. And that's how they just keep developing.
God, everyone's looking for power. That's always the way,
it's always the way, no matter what kind of creature you are. So.
Now, we have the queen bee here. We have some live bees here. Now, she's very large. Let's see if we can point her out.
This is the bumblebee.
To the viewers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what's the difference? These guys are just...
Bumblebee,
nectar is what they're producing.
Kind of living on nectar, yeah. Now, there has been studies done on it, and has shown that they do produce honey, but it's very, very small amounts. There's nothing that we can capture and use for us for commercial reasons. But yeah, the queen bee is in here. She seems to have... She's gone
camera shy on us, hasn't she? Because she's been lording it up while we've been standing here.
But yeah, the honeybee survives over the winter. That's why they produce honey, and they use the honey as a food source over the winter, whereas the bumblebee, they have smaller colonies of maybe 300, 350. The honeybee would have colonies up to 80,000. So there's a big difference. So they will all die off at the end of the season except for the new queens that are produced, and they will go off, hibernate, they will bury in under a few leaves or into the soil, and they would actually freeze over. And as the better weather starts in the spring comes, they will thaw out a little bit, and she will then go out and create new nests by maybe fighting off a mouse or fighting off a bird or finding empty nests, mouse holes or something like that.
And start the whole thing off again.
And starts the whole thing off again.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Now, we need bees. I mean, a lot of people swat away the bee, they're worried about getting stung, but we need bees for survival, and the population of bees worldwide is on the decline.
Yeah, about 1/3 of our pollinating species are actually in decline at the moment. I think since 2012 there was studies done, 3.7% every year of a decline in bees. They've produced in Ireland, it's very good, Jane Stout, Juanita Brown, they've organised an AIPP, which is an all-Ireland pollinator plan, which is quite good, and I think people should get involved and look it up and see what they can do. On the Keelings farm, we're also involved. We're doing bee surveys at the moment, seeing how our bees are visiting flowers and what they prefer, and we're creating a lot of wildflower areas, things like that.
Because they like wildflowers, they like purple, love wildflowers, yes. They like buttercups.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons is that we don't have enough areas with wildflowers. A lot of habitats have been destroyed for living, really, for humans to kind of move into. But we're also manicuring our gardens a lot more than we used to. So it's nice to leave areas where you have wildflowers, and we have a section here where we actually make seed bombs, nectar rich. They've got 30 different species of wildflower in it. And I invite people to come down here and just use them, bring them home to their gardens, and find a nice earthy area where you can throw them onto the ground and then watch them grow.
Now, it's my dinner party fact that Einstein said that when the bees die, the humans will die 4 years later. Is that still a fact?
That's Einstein was a very smart man.
He sure was.
Yeah, so I think it would hold some water, yeah, definitely. But it's definitely 1/3 of our crops on the shelf are pollinated by bees. So the rest that would be cereals and tuber crops and root crops. But like your apples, strawberries, fruits, all that produce on the shelves is pollinated by bees. Without that, you would see that empty space. 90% of our wildflowers, so the ecology would suffer as well. You would see a lot of our wildflowers and plants that are out in nature, about 90% would be in decline.
Brilliant. Well, you're literally saving lives with your job, Denis. Thank you very much and keep up the good work.
I'll try my
best. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much.
Do come down and check out this area. Great for the kids to get involved and grab some seed bombs and save the planet. We're going to take a break. More from Ireland AM soon.